We established Black Wall Street districts around the globe in the spirit of the original Black Wall Street district of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Black Wall Street districts can be recognized as an urban area that is a thriving center of business, industry, and culture, and is a commercial strip that has 50 to 70% or more businesses owned by African Americans.
Support the Black Wall Street USA movement for the next 300 years. We established Black Wall Street districts around the globe in the spirit of Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma. This movement is about God, our ancestors, and future generations. Your supporting membership will further show you are willing to perform the same ground paving efforts for generations we will never meet. Visit blackwallstreet.org/join and keep the movement moving.
All right. Want to welcome all. Good to be with you guys again on this great Wednesday. We want to go ahead and get started. Hoping all minds and hearts are clear. Ms. Lovelace, you mind getting us started with a prayer, please?
Yes. Holy Spirit, we invite your presence into our meeting tonight. Guide our minds and our hearts as we discuss important matters. Grant us your peace that surpasses understanding, keeping us focused and productive. Guide our conversations and inspire creative solutions. In your name, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
For that prayer. Ms. Lovelace, how's your week going so far?
It's going pretty well. Just been very busy at my job. We got new rules and new policies that we're starting, and it's very cumbersome.
Nice. I guess busy is always good. Kind of, I try to look at it as job security when you're busy, but at the same time, they change so much stuff at one time and expect you to grasp on as if you had a hand in making the changes. So I completely understand stressful changes, especially within the workplace. Low dog,
Yes, sir.
Georgia's finest.
Hey, Florida.
You run
Florida
it.
love right now.
I need you to run for state president over there of Georgia.
I'm running for president of the United States.
That's
Ain't no
what
like me.
I like about they need. They look. We need it. We need it. How's your week going so far?
It's going good, man. Well, just staying in the number one more time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Is that brace like for your back?
Yeah. They said my screws coming loose.
Are you spinal? Or you got screws in your back?
Yeah. On my lumbars, all up and down.
Ooh.
They said I ain't out the woodwork yet. But I ain't gonna let them keep me down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we're definitely gonna keep you prayed up. Hopefully the belt does exactly what you needed to do.
Yeah, they think I'm gonna stay still, but hey,
They must don't know who you are.
they don't know me. My doctor said that he was gonna have to tell on me. I said, well, do what you do, cause it's a doggone therapist told me to do it.
Right. Not telling you.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, how you doing, brother?
all is well. All is well.
In the family?
Yeah. Well, my grandmother's been in and out of the hospital.
So keep her in prayer.
But that's been, early 90s. So you know how that goes.
Hey,
It's kind of up and down. So I had to start going out there more often. My dad said the days that I come, she just be real up. So I said I need to start making a more
Yeah,
conscious effort
got
again.
to, man.
So I
That's where
told
the
him,
skill and the wisdom come in at.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I told him I'm gonna come break her out. We're gonna escape the hospital.
Get her out those four walls.
Exactly. Exactly.
I guarantee you, once you get out those four walls, but what
Hmm.
you ain't doing but looking up being miserable.
Yeah. Yeah. Then when you don't have family there with you like that, it
Hmm.
doesn't, do nothing but bring you down even more. So
Right.
between that, this 18-year-old that's getting prepared for life and sports with the boys, business. Hey,
My 18-year-old boy getting me.
sir.
My 18-year-old getting me. I'm gonna send her over there with Miss Lovelace. That
Hey, look, send her. I'm gonna send mine too. She gonna have her hands full. I'm gonna send mine too.
and now, cause mine's over there. All she gotta do is just send the money down to college. Send the money to college. Take a
Yes, sir.
trip. Take a ride, cause you know she like to drive.
Yep. I said they at this age. I'm like, why couldn't you just stay four? Between 4 and 6, maybe even 7. I'll be good. I'll be
Know
good.
what I say? I say if I know what I know now, I wouldn't do that.
But we're gonna go ahead because I didn't upgrade the thing, so our time is limited.
But
Um, I do want to be uh, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for dialing in and joining Black Wall Street. Maybe ask who we have tonight. Caller that just joined us, you mind introducing yourself?
I'm sorry, I was on mute.
Nope, that's fine.
Rahima Rahim, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall
Hey,
Street at Tulsa.
hey, thanks for joining. How's your Wednesday going?
Oh, it's going wild, I'll tell you. But I'm still laughing.
Oh, and that's all we can do. Stay energized and keep it going. Keep it going.
That's right.
Definitely
That's
thank
it.
you for joining us.
Thank you.
Uh, I'm going to stay obedient. First and foremost, on the business agenda. And I know you was on mute, Mother Rahim, so if you wanted to, that's fine. I just wanted to know who we had talking before I start rambling.
Oh, sure. No problem.
Uh, so we definitely want to keep in mind the 8 steps of the mission. Uh, we have a lot going on, and I do feel like with the 8 steps of the mission, this would definitely allow us to stay rejuvenated even when we have those tribulations through the week. Um, so I'm going to run through those real quick and kind of just give my viewpoint of how we can practice those as we go by our weekly mission.
Great.
Uh, Staying in the right spirit, we want to definitely stay there. Being in the right spirit will require you to be in the right mindset. So if we stay in the right mindset, we can definitely allow the spirit to guide us a little bit more in our everyday routine and what's going on, even with dealing with people. We are human, and we're often led by the flesh. So we're battling those fleshy ways. So we just stay in the right spirit. Keep in mind that we're all children of Christ, and we can continue to guide, love, and be there for one another. And being in the right spirit, you want to identify your target region, your spiritual mapping, uh, spiritual activating, claiming the land for the kingdom. You definitely want to keep that there in your center. Um, Making sure we staying on top of the movement that we're rebuilding as well. Okay. So just kind of wanted to go over a few of those. I'm going over all of them in one meeting would definitely take up the whole meeting, but I just kind of wanted to touch bases on the few that allows us to continue going on a weekly basis. Okay. Did anyone have any questions or wanted to input on any of the steps or on the few steps that I mentioned tonight?
well, I wanted to say something. I'm looking at the 7 prayer principle.
Mhm.
I think this would be a good time for us to reflect on this.
Mhm.
Relationships, recognition, requests, um, repetition, um, rejoicing. The reason why I like that rejoicing and realizations and all of as we going through what we going through now, hey, we got to rejoice.
Absolutely.
We can't let it go back. We can't let it, you know what I'm saying? Because our relationships, our friendships, our business ships, you know, we got to stay strong.
Absolutely.
We got
Absolutely.
to grade that mean blow like our grandma used to do. If y'all could go back and just listen to some of them grandmothers, excuse me, and grandfathers, they'll let you know. Have that strong fist. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, the kind of add to that, I think that all falls up under the kingdom building. When we're
Yeah.
like-minded and staying within the kingdom, like you got to look at what's going on today with the government shutdown. It affects all of us, whether it's directly or indirectly. But with what Black Wall Street is doing when it comes to the kingdom building, it's giving us the opportunity to rely on each other and in our own community to where it minimizes it minimizes how we're affected by the government if we're relying on each other. So, for example, if one person in the neighborhood is growing cabbage, another one is growing tomatoes, another one is growing barley, like that's our community we still eat. Government can't control that, right? So
That's
we
right.
keep that in mind with how we're building our kingdom and staying in the right mindset. Uh, we control all of this, you know. So it just goes along with what you're saying, and I love what you said there. I wanted that when you said that, it kind of sparked that thought process. I wanted to add to it.
Yeah, because
You know,
man, everybody is good because because everybody, oh, the government shut down. Oh, our blessings, our money don't come from the government.
Mhm.
It come from God. So if you got that faith as small as that mustard seeds, you say everything we ask in His will, He'll pour it out. So if you
Absolutely.
believe He gonna bless you and bring it out, He gonna do it for
Like, I'm a big fan of Faith Without Works is Dead.
you. Amen.
That's one of my favorites. So even when we're talking about how the government shut down through Black Wall Street, it's how we practice that faith. Uh, we practice that faith and allow our work to really connect and align with our faith with one another. Um, um, so Black Wall Street definitely provides a platform that allows our culture to really connect and not be affected as much as the government. Well, like our society to be affected, we still allow them to affect us because we still lack that connection with one another and continue to move in an individual mindset. It's good to have an individual mindset because in order for all of us to really connect, we all have to bring something to the table, bring a piece of the
That's right.
puzzle, so we all can't bring water, at the end of the day. So, but we have to be on one page with one another so that through our individuality, we still connecting. And that's because we're all serving the same creator from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely what we have to kind of keep in mindset. So, do anyone have anything new, any progression on their journey this week that took place? I would love to hear any type of progression or any type of trials that you kind of faced that we may be able to provide some assistance with or hear how you overcame that.
Well, I gotta say something. I don't know what I have to do, but it's all right. But I got kind of discouraged Monday night, right?
Yes, sir.
I was on. I know everybody on Mondays is a hectic day, But it was discouraged that, nobody wasn't on, I ain't pointing fingers. But people's got busy lives. But hey, guess what? Either I'm gonna run with it or I'll shut it down. And I'm not finna shut down. You know, if I got to get on television and and advertise it that way and draw other outsiders in, that's so be it.
I understand your frustration, Mr. Freeman. I did text you to tell you I had another engagement, but I understand when you don't have participants on the call. I understand that's frustrating, and it makes you feel like you're out there by yourself. So I do
Yeah,
understand. But
because sometimes what the song say, I'll go if I have to go by myself. My mother, father, sister, or brother, I'm gonna go on and on. Friends, yeah, make friends may talk about you, or people might sit on the sideline and see what you're doing. That's what everybody's doing with us. They trying to and sitting with the trail of tears. They sitting on the sideline seeing what's going on. But guess what? We got to do what we got to do.
Assalamu alaikum.
Definitely. And I definitely would take accountability too. I would definitely do a better job with my time management.
No, I
It's,
know you
it's
at the football head coach, but I just ain't getting no tickets to the game or practice.
listen, when they
Peace.
get big, you'll have your lifeline tickets, okay?
I'm just gonna
Peace and
be the
blessings.
agent.
Oh, you're gonna be the agent.
Okay, peace and blessings.
All right, peace and blessings, mother. And you have a great night.
Well, I'm not. I'm just.
Oh,
That
I'm
was my
sorry.
issue. So, no,
I'm so
because
sorry.
I just wanna. I want to get back to what Brother Freeman said about we got to do what we got to do, and so I would venture to say that the meeting is about halfway over, and we haven't talked about anything. I mean, we haven't talked about any action, even though you did ask the question, and I'm rattling my brain to figure out how I'm going to respond to it. But but we must remember that God is in control, and so a lot of things that go on to deflect us from what we are supposed to be doing, and so we don't want to deal with anything. I love the motivational talks you all just gave, but right now we should be beyond that and ready to make some reports or suggest how we can, who we met this week or how we could, you know, make things happen, more and more things happen. So I think we need to spend the rest of this time. We only have a half hour left to spend the rest of this time just talking about uh, our big project, which is the Trail of Tears 2, unless you have something in your community you want to share, sure. But I think that's what we need to do from this point on, because we're not worried about what everybody else is going to do. We just worry about what God's going to do. And so we stay on the path. Uh, we will be successful. You started off, brother, by talking about if somebody's growing cabbages and somebody. Now that's what we need to be talking about, because when the everybody's talking about AI and this and that, but when the electricity is cut off, there is no AI. Except for the folks that got a backup. The highfalutin folks who have a backup, who know what they're doing anyway. And so, and some people, maybe trying to deal with their personal things about what's going on because they may not be getting a check this month. So, that's something that they have to deal with. But I understand you had a hot meeting last time, but I was so out of it. I couldn't even get on. I was on the line listening, but I couldn't talk because I had my eyes dilated, and for some reason it just kind of wore me out. But anyway, be that as it may, I want to get back to your question. so we can move on. And so who was that had a meeting? So many Native Americans were on it. I mean, the meeting ran almost 2 hours. And these were people talking about doing stuff. See, our problem is we don't have the kinds of funds that we can put into this. And those of us who have it, it gets back to what you said, brother. A lot of times we don't trust each other. So that's another thing we have to work on. We don't want to put money in, in some of our businesses. So, I want to start with your question, and if I can figure out something I did this week, except go to the dentist, I mean the ophthalmologist. I want to try to answer that question so we can get on with what we need to be doing, because the time is fleeting.
Yeah,
And
I cannot figure out how to do the extended meeting, which I will take care of that tonight.
well, don't
So
worry about that so much. We really need to just be on point with what we're doing. Um, I remember about 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 10 years ago, Minister Farrakhan started a program. I think it was a Wednesday night program where people were supposed to come to the meeting in groups of, and I think the maximum in one group could be like, I think 8 people. And you had 3 minutes to say what you had to say. If the point you were trying to make took more than 3 minutes, then you had to request more time or either wait until they went around all those other 8 people. And I thought that was an excellent program. It's just that if the head is taking shortcuts, then it kind of fizzles out. But because of the time that we're living in right now, we really do have to learn how to value our time, because we don't have time to just talk or complain, or we don't even have time to motivate anybody anymore. We need to, like, who was that went? I think it was Nebuchadnezzar. No, I think it was brother one of the prophets, Jethu or somebody, Jebu or Jethu, and that meant they were going off to war. And he says, "Okay, we're going down to the river, and your instructions are to just take a sip. Don't drink a lot of water." And they went down to the river. Somebody straighten me out now. Tell me who this was. So he went down to the river. They went down to the river. So all the soldiers who take a sip, they're going with us. The rest of them, they stay behind. And that's exactly what happened. Only a few of them took a sip. Only a few of them followed the instructions. I don't remember what that was supposed to do, but one thing, it showed who was obedient. And the other thing was, what kind of stamina do you have? They knew they were going across the desert, but they were only supposed to take a sip. So I think we need to get on. Let me get back, because I'm doing the same thing, running around for about 4 or 5 minutes. What did I do this week? Well, let me see. I firmed up the use of the library for events. There's a lot going on. We don't have a lot of help. I don't have any help here in Tulsa, but I'm getting ready to, I'm working on that. There's a lot going on, and so I firmed up the space in the library. Sister Karen Reese came to town, I think last Thursday, I think, and interviewed me to help promote the tour. And she saw a facility called Generation of Destiny, which is like a block up the street from the Black Wall Street headquarters. And she was kind of impressed with that space. So I took her to see the brother who was in charge of it, has a barbershop. And so we went in there, and she made connections with him, and he was very excited about it, because he's been trying to get that building off and running for the young people for years. One time somebody went in there and took the air conditioners off the roof, and then somebody took the the copper, and so they just kept having, getting setbacks, even though they had some support. But so he had a grand opening. I went to the grand opening, I think about 3 years ago. But I don't know I guess it's just a funding issue. But if we tighten up what we're doing right now, we'll be able to get funds to help with this kind of thing. And one of the things they mentioned, that all the money that was going to be collected was going to be used only for the trail, and that's not true, because we also need money in Tulsa. We need to have some kind of scholarship for young people who need to be coming. We need our young people here. We need our young people learning so they can take over. It would be so easy if we had, our young people working with us. So that was one of the things that I did this week, and I wanted to pass it on. Maybe somebody's thought about what they did, or you might want to do a recap of. See, the thing about it, we have a lot of bodies and we have a lot of ideas. We don't have the money to put out, but the Native Americans, they're ready to jump on this because they have a different kind of whatever, and they can jump on this, and they're willing to support this, because this is also something that they had thought about doing, but they just needed somebody, I guess, to get the ball rolling. So I don't know, Brother Freeman, you might be able to talk a little bit more about that.
Well, what y'all need to do up there?
No, sir, about the Native Americans who came on, and
Oh, yes.
or Sister Lovelace also was on that call. She sounded excited about it, so she'll probably add to whatever you want to share.
Well, what happened was they are ready to jump on board. They are ready to the indigenous grandmothers and the chiefs, and they are ready to to jump on board to bring whatever they got to do to the table, and also to some of the mounds and to like in indigenous communities, because you got mounds that they gonna be searching to grace the spirit. Because if you don't reverence the spirits and their gods or their ancestors, it's not gonna be blessed. So you got different meetings where she went to, and everybody is ready and ready to give money. And on the other side, what we could do in each city, like what I'm planning to do, is go on your corners, go to your stores, ask them, can you set up a table, and tell them what you're gonna do, or have a flyer, or get on the community calendar. Ask for donations. That's how you bring in the money and the wealth. We got to use other people's money. You know, how you have little different things outside on the curve or in the parking lot somewhere or in the park. People's will give as long as they got to know what they're gonna give to. Yeah, people would say, yeah, um, um, that GoFundMe. Well, if you get out and talk and go to some of these games, get you some of good few little teenagers and talk to them, or go to your established your government officials, like your city councilmen, District 1, District 2, whatever the district is. They'll
Get your Black Wall Street t-shirts today. Makes a great holiday gift. Represent our history with pride and homage. Wearing these t-shirts are for those who know and don't know about the atrocities that took place in Tulsa on May 31st and June 1st of 1921. This is a great way to honor our ancestors and Black pioneers. All t-shirts are produced and designed by Black-owned firms. Just click the link now and start shopping.
You write letters to the Eagle a lot, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You retired Navy?
Yeah, I'm retired now.
My husband's retired Air Force.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Would you mind, first of all, telling me your full name and how it's spelled to make sure I have it right?
Eldoris, Eldoris, that all together.
Eldoris.
May, M-A-E. Then McCondishi, M-C-C-O-N.
N is in North?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
C-O-N,
Uh-huh.
D-I-C-H-I-E.
And how old are you?
88.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. Okay.
You don't look nervous.
Mm-mm. And have you lived in Tulsa all your life?
Well, since I was 4.
Mm-hmm. And, all right, and so you were how old at the time of the riot?
9 years old.
What'd your family do?
What?
What did your family do for a living?
Oh,
at that
they
time?
were just common workers. My mother worked out, and my father did work at, it was a Kennedy's golf course then, and that's where he used to work. And years ago, they had to do the greens, and he was out there on the field.
Mm-hmm.
He used to call them dragging the greens to keep them so they could play golf.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother did housework.
Did you live in or near the Greenwood area?
No, Greenwood area? Oh, yes.
Okay. Where'd you live in relation to the business district?
I live right, well, almost in this area. My house is over the track, down Pine. You don't know where they, but anyway, Pine is the main street here.
Mm-hmm.
And we were right over the track on Iroquois.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first little street. And my house might have been kind of even with this one over on the other side of the track.
Mm-hmm. So what do you remember of the day of the riot? Do you remember what you were doing that day?
Yes. The day of the riot, we were running. We were, the people, my mother, when I was awakened by my mother, I was real frightened because she told me what was happening, and I couldn't imagine that. I just said to her, I just got up and was real afraid, and she says, we have to go out, get out. I said, she says, the white people are killing the colored people. And I just felt that I could see them just lining us up, just going down the line too. But anyway, it wasn't that bad, but we had, and the Million Valley track was just lined with people going north. Mm-hmm. And some were in their head rags, old gowns, because they didn't have any time to get dressed to get out. Even some women left their shoes and was just walking down the track with no shoes on. And it was the crowd was just the whole breadth of the railroad track, on the sides and down the middle. And they were all going north because they couldn't go south. And so we went right over the track off Pine was a small chicken coop. And a lot of people went in there because the bullets were just raining down over us. The airplanes was up, just raining down the bullets. And I could see them, and I heard them, and I was so frightened, I pulled away from my parents and ran into this chicken coop with all the other people. And I got into the corner of that, just scared as I could be. But my father came in there, and I had to leave out with him so I could stay with my family. So that was it. And I don't know, some little town going north on the Million Valley track. There was a farmer there, very nice. He was white, and he said, as many of you people can come into our to get into this house, because he had 2 houses. The first one he lived in, and he had built another one. He says, as many of you can come in and stay as long, until.
Mm-hmm.
So we stayed there overnight.
Excuse me, where was that?
This is, I can't remember the town, but we went to Pawhuska from there, still going north. With the next morning, I know we didn't walk, but I can't remember how. Mm-hmm. My mother my brother and myself got to the Husker, but we went there and stayed for 2 or 3 days until the all clear sound was made here. And so we came back home.
Do you remember, one of the things we've been talking about a lot is the role of authority figures in the riot, that it wasn't just hoodlums and ruffians, but some of the, do you remember at the age of 9 what the role of authority figures seemed to be?
The authority figures, they were the men who, the businessmen, is that what you mean?
Business leaders
Business
of Tulsa.
leaders of Tulsa, yes, and Greenwood. Greenwood was just our street, our town. All the Negroes just had access to Greenwood. Our businesses were there. We had our doctors, our lawyers, our undertakers. All of the businessmen were down on Greenwood, just say from Cameron on back to Archer. But it was further than that. Some was up, and in our schools, Booker T. Washington was the high school. And we had a school, Dunbar was a grade school, and it was down on Eastern, a little 2-story red brick, Dunbar. And they were all blown up. Churches all over in that area, from, say, Eastern, right on down. It seemed like and the teachers who lived on Detroit, up the hill, their homes were just blown apart. And so the better business of the business people who really made the town what it was. And of course, my parents helped too, but they was in a small area. But it was just, that was it.
So what time did your mother wake you up? Was it at night?
No, it was in the morning. I didn't tell this before, but I had been staying with my cousin about 2 doors down from our house. I had been sleeping down there at night, and I don't remember why now, but I would go home in the morning. So the evening of the riot, I went down there, and I said to my cousin, I says, I'm going home, and I'll be back in a few minutes. I did not get back. I went home and went to sleep. And I didn't know anything until my mother was waking me the next morning.
So she woke you up in the morning and people had been rioting all night long?
Yeah, people had, and the track was just full of people. And all I could see was black rolling smoke down south and the people going north.
And when she woke you up and she said that the white people are killing the colored people, your first reaction was to envision it very clearly, not to say why. Did that reflect what those times were like? Did it surprise you that such a thing would happen?
No, I guess I was more afraid, too afraid to be surprised. I guess I'll put it that way, because I woke up just ready to run, and it was hard for them to keep me at that age. I knew I should have stayed with my parents, but just trying to get out of the way.
But in those days, I mean, did it seem perfectly possible that such a thing could happen sooner or later, or was it just, I mean, would it have been as strange if the birds came down from the trees and attacked you?
At 9 years old, I had no thoughts of that, because of anything can happen like that. We were just all out here peacefully living, and downtown seemed to be, but it just seemed to happen overnight downtown. And I didn't know until I was at the meeting that the race riot really started at night, but we had the first day of June 1921. And that's when we were all involved. We know we woke up running. And we couldn't go back south at all. The people out on that end, and I guess say downtown from maybe Independence on out north.
And what do you remember of the airplanes? You said the bullets were raining down from above. Tell me what you remember of that.
I just remember seeing them up there and seeing the bullets, hearing them as they drop, and seeing some of them.
Do you remember seeing white policemen or any sort of white people in uniform or anyone trying to control things at all?
No, everybody was fighting, and the Negroes were on the run until it was all, peace was declared. And then
And you knew that because of the all clear siren?
no. We didn't hear a siren. We were in Pahuska, but we got the word that it was all clear. And then we did have curfew when I got back, and the National Guard was here to guard us for a while.
What did it look like when you came back?
Down, well, on Greenwood, the deep Greenwood,
Mm-hmm.
it was just a sound of this bricks, stones, buildings blown up. Just the war-torn place. And our pastor, the first pastor we had, he died not too long after the riot. And Jackson had his undertaker, his building was all just blown apart too, because he was down there on Greenwood. And he had just a little room, maybe from this plastic over here to the wall, and not this long, back from here back. And he had to take the pastor's body in. And I remember my mother taking my brother and me down to see our pastor. And we just had to step over stones and bricks to get in the little door. And because his casket took up the whole wall, like this. And I remember standing in the door, just looking, to see him. And that's what it was. We didn't have any place else to go or take him. And Jackson's undertaker then. We still have Jax, but he's gone, and his son and wife are in there.
What happened to the pastor? How did he die?
Well, they were at church one night after the riot, and they said he got up. Of course, I didn't go. They said he opened the service, sang a song, prayed and sang a song, and he just sat down and gave his Bible to another minister, another person, and just went over, just suddenly.
This was just a couple of days after the riot?
Well, I don't know. No, it was a little longer than that, but nothing had gotten back in place at the time.
Mm-hmm. Did your family consider staying away from Tulsa after that?
No.
How come?
Where we were, we didn't lose anything where we were, and so that was just home.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't consider moving any place.
How did your family react? What kinds of conversations did you have in your family? Or
none at all, because
really?
If they were talking about it, we knew about it. I mean, I knew about it, and naturally, being a child, we were just children who were then we just, playing how older people sit around and talk, and we were in it, so we knew about it, but they were just merely talking about it.
And did your parents try to explain it in any way or make any sense of it? Did you ask?
No, I didn't.
How come?
I didn't ask because I felt that they didn't have to tell me what I saw and what I was in and the experience I went through. Just being a child all by myself, I just didn't have to ask them because whatever they said was right. I knew they were right because I was right there in it.
So you were 9